Aireworth's probably the third or fourth layout I've ever built. After the club was formed, for about 5 years, I was too busy with club affairs to do any modelling. But eventually managed to find a bit of space and I built a layout, a 3 mil layout, Airedale. The reason I went back into 3 mil is because that's so much TT stuff. The railway took about 10 months to build. That was the baseboards and track. In 3 mil you've got to build everything. There's no track available, at least there wasn't then. So it was just copper-clad sleepers and rail, which was so you'd sold at track. And a colleague and I built over I don't know, we spent over £100 in rail. And all these rails soldered, the points were built in situ, that was all sold at track. I say, we salvaged quite a bit from the previous Airedale layout, but in 10 months the whole thing went to its first exhibition. I needed some buildings for background because it was a town urban scene, and I started copying local buildings in the town. There's a lot of interesting buildings in any town, big town. I didn't see any point in trailing 20 miles to copy one when there was one just down the road. And so I started a series of local buildings which should now decorate the layout until I got most of the background of the layout covered in buildings. Buildings are the thing I enjoy the most. They're not difficult, they're great fun. There's no derailments, no short circuits, no quartering problems like you get on some locomotives. And there's quite an ego trip when somebody comes and recognises a building or says, I was born in that house. And you think, well, maybe it looks like your house, but probably it's an amalgam of different buildings taken from different streets and merged together. I don't slavishly copy any one street. I may take Cavendish, back of Cavendish Street, which is about 4 feet long, has 23 houses in it. Out of the real Cavendish Street, probably 90 or more. So there are odd ones taken from various positions, and some are turned back to front. Some have extra floors added, some have floors taken away. The town hall there is only 2/3 of the actual length. The mill building that's on the layout is actually half as long again with an extra floor. So these are actually tailor-made to fit the site. People say, where do I get the drawings? Well, first of all, I couldn't read an architect's drawing. I wouldn't understand it. So I go out and get my own. And this is done by going along with a tape measure and a friend, if I can get one, and measuring the width and width along the outside of the building. But you're limited to 6 feet. You can't go above 6 feet unless you get a stepladder. And even then you'd only probably get up to about 10. And many of these buildings 30, 40, 50, 60 feet high. So the only way really to get those is by photographs. So many Sunday mornings you find me in town with a tape measure, a brick, and a piece of chalk. And I will, very early in the morning, before there's any traffic, and you put the tape measure at the base of the building, you put a brick on it, and wander out into the road with what I call a cardboard theodolite, which just is a square of card with a plumb line on it. So that you know when the plumb line is from corner to corner, the angle is 45 degrees. And those of you who remember your basic geometry know that that is an equilateral triangle. So as you move back, you can sight along the cardboard until you can, looking at the height you want to measure, maybe the eaves or roof line or a window line, and then you put chalk mark on the road. You measure from that chalk mark to the base of the building, plus the height, your own height from your eye, and that distance is the height of the building. It's as simple as that.